digestive tract and stomach wall so you can absorb nutrients. Microplant powder is 89% silica and packed with a negative charge that attracts positive toxins from the blood, organs, spine, and brain. This product has the ability to rebuild cartilage and bone, which allows synovial fluid to return to the joints. Silica is a precursor to calcium, meaning the body turns silica into calcium and is great for the heart. There is no better time than now to have microplant powder on your shelf or in your storage shelter. And with an unlimited shelf life, you can store it anywhere. Call 908-691-2608 or visit hempusa.org. It's a great way to change your life. So call 908-691-2608 or visit us at hempusa.org today. Hey.
To Alaska, go north for Russia's home.
Ron Paul's coming up. Calling us from the floor of the House. Your calls as well. Government demands inventory of all VFW weapons. Threatens, that should be the headline, threatens veterans with arrest if they don't report 100-year-old plus cannons that were given to them by the government. They're trying a lawyer trick now because the last 15, 20 years, they've been having them sign forms to get this stuff they give to them and push on them. You know, they ask the veterans, oh, come do all these funerals, you know, for dying vets, do these ceremonies, and here, you know, we'll give you the M1s to shoot the blanks, and we'll give you the uniforms and things. And now they're saying, we're going to send the BATF after you if you don't keep a record of all that. And they've also announced, until Congress got upset, Obama said no more brass left over from the military for reloading could be sold to big companies. And they're introduced all these bills to totally end the Second Amendment as we know it. This is all happening. This is all real. And it's just going to incrementally continue. But even though it's incremental, the incrementalism is accelerating now. It is intensifying now. It is expanding now. And the question is, as a society, what are we going to do about this? We have private outside banks that are having their way with the people. And as soon as Ron Paul gets on with us, that's what we're going to discuss, is the bill that he's introduced that's now got over 200 sponsors. Bill to audit Federal Reserve now has 207 co-sponsors. New names being added every day, momentum building for Ron Paul and the American people, identifying the outside criminal organization, the private bankers that have engineered the collapse, that have taken over our society. This is the New World Order. We have their minutes. We have their documents. We have it all. We understand what they're doing and what they're setting up and what they are creating. Bill to audit Federal Reserve now has 207 co-sponsors. New names being added every day, momentum building for the American people. Thanks to Ron Paul and all of your phone calls to Congress, all the letters to Congress. At a time of writing a bill that would see the Federal Reserve Bank audited for the first time in 59 years, has 207 co-sponsors in the House and is gaining traction with every single day. Now, we've seen numbers of 200s, what we confirm. Daily Paul saying 207. We can talk to the man himself, Congressman Ron Paul, the hardest working man in Congress, Dr. Ron Paul, hailing from Texas. I'm so honored to be a Texan with him. Congressman, how many sponsors does it really have?
Well, it's actually 209 right now.
Yeah, you heard it here first, 209.
So you have to almost check minute by minute, and they're coming in faster and easier now. And the percentage of the new people are Democrats because a lot of the Republicans are already on. So it is spreading. I think the people at the grassroots have done the job that they need to do. And when we feel really depressed about how slow Congress works, we do have a system that will respond if we wake up enough people. But that's the tough job. But they will respond when they hear from the people.
Congressman, how long have you worked to get this many sponsors? I mean, you've been introducing this bill for a decade, haven't you?
Yes, it's been probably ever since I've been in Congress. I don't know if I've ever skipped any, but there's never been any general support from the public. But because of the financial crisis and because of the presidential campaign and the interest in the Federal Reserve, all of a sudden it's come together. So this is by far the most interest that we've had. And And quite frankly, I think it's the most interest anybody's ever had since the Federal Reserve has been established in 1913. Because, you know, even though the Fed contributed significantly, if they didn't cause the whole depression of the 30s, nobody was calling for, you know, auditing the Fed and abolishing the Fed. Today, those are routine chants that we hear. And therefore, I think we're making great progress only because they've created such a chaotic mess that we're dealing with.
Well, we'll have to change the headline at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com to 209 from Congressman Ron Paul. So you heard it here first. Sir, I don't want listeners to blink or viewers to blink because they may miss history. I don't think even our own movement realizes the gravity of the fact that it looks like this bill has a good chance of passing if you get another 10 or so sponsors, and the Federal Reserve has hired lobbyists to try to block this. Their arrogance, their veneer of invincibility, their cloak of invincibility is falling away. People see that they can be beat. They see that they are not above the law. It's viral videos with the former Fed chairman and current Fed chairman saying they're above the law and no one can look into them and no agency of government of the three branches can. That is asinine on its face for even an uneducated, uninformed public on our system of government. And so I just want to get your take on what is it like for you to know you're the leader of something that is so amazingly historical? Because even if they somehow beat this time, then the question is, how were we not able to audit you? And so you can see that the momentum has changed and the pendulum is really shifting. I sense destiny of the level of 1776 here, sir.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it. They can't put the genie back in the bottle because the odds are still, you know, iffy about where this is going to go. I mean, the powers to be have a lot of tools that they can use. Conference committees, maybe they might block it in the Senate. They can do all sorts of things. So I remain cautiously optimistic because I know it has a long way to go. But the issue will not be quieted down. I mean, the issue is out there, and if you know, in some ways, let's say we have all this attention in this bill, and we get the majority in the Congress to endorse it, and it never gets out and never goes anyway. It's proof positive that we really need to do it. That means the incentive will be that much greater to get a handle on all this. So I think we win either way because we've gotten the attention of such a large number of people. And it's not only the very, very hardcore constitutionalists, because the grassroots are talking to the very average Republican, the very average Democrat, the moderate, the liberal, the progressive, and they're all joining it. The issue really here is reigning in government and transparency. We should not be fooled into believing that they have a strong belief in the monetary policies that we might want. I mean, they're not old gold standard people or anything else. What's driving this is that Congress has created a mess. The Federal Reserve has been doing a lot secretly, and the American people want to know what's happening because they've seen too many special interests bailed out, not only by Congress and the Treasury, but by the Federal Reserve as well, and they're demanding answers.
Congressman, in the 12 minutes or so we have left with you, I've got so many important questions concerning this. How do we explain to some of the public out there that this is all a process of liberty? Tyranny wasn't born overnight in this country, and liberty isn't going to take back over overnight. It's a constant battle between those two tidal forces, as you know. But people said, oh, Ron Paul didn't win, so boo-hoo. I said, no, it built this giant movement. Now the biggest thing on campus isn't liberal or fake conservative. It's libertarian, it's freedom, it's constitutionalist. And now people are finally seeing that a year later, that it's building in strength, and that it's a process that even, as you just said, even if they defeat it this time, then people say, well, why can't we audit it? It's almost better if they do engage in chicanery and pull out the stops and beat it this time, because then everybody's going to want to know what they're hiding.
Yep, that's exactly right, and that'll just energize our group of young people, especially even more so. But I think it's an issue whose time has come, and it's not going to go away. And I don't know if you saw Jim Grant's quote today on the business station, but he said that if we ever got that auditing bill passed, that it would be a declaration that the Federal Reserve is in a lot worse shape than any of the banks that went bankrupt. But technically, in conventional terms, the Federal Reserve does not have the assets. All they have are credits, and obviously that's what we would expect. But that goes to prove why they can't be the salvation of this country. I mean, just counterfeiting money and doing mischief and serving the interests of their friends, that can't work. I think it's going to come to an end whether we win this legislative victory or not, because their system is deeply flawed. Ultimately,